I want to tell you real quick, back in the hills of Virginia, where we live, or where I was born and raised, where my dad was born and raised, we do the Dr. Ralph Stanley Memorial Bluegrass Festival. It's every Memorial Day weekend. It's a camp-out event. Bring a camper, tent, we got hookups, and I know there's a lot of bluegrass festivals out this way. How many of y'all go to a lot of bluegrass festivals?
Yeah, buddy!
They're a good time. But now this one is it'll be our 55th annual Bluegrass Festival. It started in 1970 by my dad. And a young Ricky Skaggs and Keith Whitley helped my dad build. There's an original stage, Sir the Hill. A lot of people goes down on and jams around on it. It's still there, but they built that and it still stands. And, we had Ricky up there, it's been 3 or 4 years ago now, and he still went down there and he could not believe. He said, "We're not carpenters, we're singers." So I cannot believe this stage is still standing down there. So that was, and I talked to Vince Gill today on the telephone. I think, let's keep our fingers crossed, I'm hoping to give him the award this kind of year.
Yeah, buddy.
Hopefully he'll be a part of the festival next year if these songs will get that. Patty Loveless was the first one to get it.
Oh, nice.
I'll give it to her, Ricky, John Anderson, the Isaacs family, and all those people that Dad recorded with. So hopefully Vince will be the next one. And if you'd come up, Curtis, and tell them about this song here that I wrote, and I helped write it with a buddy of mine, and tell them a little bit about this next song.
All right, well, back, I think it was 2008, Ralph was singing lead for his dad, Dr. Ralph Stanley, and his dad asked him to step away from singing lead and to start his own band so he could learn how to lead one, because he knew one day he'd take over the Punch Mountain Boys. And in doing that, he experimented into a little bit of a different style of bluegrass. It's kind of a newer bluegrass, but old country type of album, and it's called This One Is Two. And there's really good songs on there, some that you might have heard, like Cold Shoulder and maybe Loretta, Honky Tonk Way. But right now we're going to go back and do the Honky Tonk Way. He wrote this song originally to pitch the song to George Jones, and I hoped he would maybe one day record it, but he never got to do that. And Ralph did a really good job singing it, though. So,
Well, if I would have got him to record, I'd have flew in here on a helicopter airplane.
yeah, right? Yes, you would, but you did a good job on it too. But it's one called the Honky Tonk Way.
Honky Tonk Way, yeah, I wrote that song. I believe I was at a festival in Texas when I wrote that number, and a buddy of mine and I helped write it. And you know, my dad, he mentioned George there. We was hanging around George a lot because Dad and George were just good friends, and I had the opportunity to give him the song to try to record it, but stupid me, I didn't do it. I was too ashamed that he wouldn't like it, and then I ended up recording it 8 years later. That's something, you know. But I was glad these boys liked the way I sang it on the album, and hope y'all enjoyed it tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
But I like that old country music, that old honky tonk country music, and I love the traditional bluegrass music, and so that's what I try to do with what we do, is keep the Clinch Mountain sound going, and also bring a little flavor of the old red traditional country music in there with it. And so that's what I grew up on. And speaking of Keith Whitley, you know, I was just a little boy when he was in the band, and you know, that's some of the you hear the best. You know, my dad was the best too, and then they was all together. That was very blessed to get to be around that. And Curtis, we got time to do one more number, and we're going to do Katie Daly, but tell about the guitar that playing. And
Yeah, I'd like to tell everyone real quick about the guitars being Ralph has been playing. The company, I think they're from California. They're called Blue Ridge, and they've done models for Ralph now for probably 10 or 12 years. And they're Clinch Mountain Specials, and his dad, Dr. Ralph Stanley, actually signed the inside of, I think, 58 of these guitars. And I think we have maybe 8 more left with his signature on them, and Ralph is selling them. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, they're really nice. But that's actually the one I was playing, is the original ones with the natural top.
only 6 left, too.
There's only 6 of them left with his dad's signature on them. So, and then this Sunburst one is Ralph Stanley's 30th anniversary guitar. There's going to be about 12 or 15 of them, and I think he's already sold a couple of them. There's about 6 left of those ones. So
you have a website?
if that's something you guys would be interested in. They're really, really nice, and we'll let you guys play them and check them out if you want to over at the record table. But that's all I got. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Curtis. If y'all enjoyed Ralph too and the Clinch Mountain Boys here tonight in Kansas City.